Yeah, how do you put someone in jail and you don't even name the clients? That sounds kind of insane. There was a lot of people that met with him and did business with him and traveled with him after he was arrested.
Last name, area codes. Okay. Who created this book? Epstein.
We're so grateful to be joined by Jeffrey Epstein survivor, Annie Farmer. Annie, thank you so much for taking the time to come back on the show.
I would like to answer your question, but on the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer this question and any related questions.
Jeffrey Epstein once attempted to invite Joe Rogan to his private island, but Joe Rogan turned down the invitation. Long before any official documents were made public, billionaires, government officials, tech CEOs, and celebrities were already closely connected to Jeffrey Epstein. However, Joe Rogan was one of the few voices who sensed that something was not right. From discussions about the names listed in Epstein's secret black book to questions about what allegedly took place aboard the Lolita Express private plane, Joe Rogan is now speaking openly about the details that many believe the FBI failed to fully redact in the Epstein files.
People have an understanding of how things are really working than ever before.
Yeah.
Like this Epstein file thing, right? That was a big eye-opener for a lot of people. When you see how many people after 2008, after he was arrested, after he went to jail, were actively taking money from him. MIT took money from him and tried to hide it and said to make sure that any donations from Jeffrey are listed as anonymous. So you find out like people are like, they referred to him as Voldemort, like you couldn't say his name.
Wow.
There was a lot of people that met with him and did business with him and traveled with him after he was arrested, after he went to jail.
Do you spend a lot of time reading them?
No, I try not to. I try to have experts come on. I try to read. You can't change it.
Yeah.
And it'll with your head.
Yeah, it's
like
toxic.
You will really get.
It'll stick with I know I've tried not to.
Yeah.
In a recent episode of his podcast, Joe Rogan shared that in 2017, one of his guests, Lawrence Krauss, a theoretical physicist, attempted to arrange a meeting between him and Jeffrey Epstein. This detail also appears in the latest document release, which includes an email exchange between Jeffrey Epstein and Krauss. In the message, Epstein was asking for an introduction to Rogan and mentioned that he found Rogan funny. The email reportedly stated that it was wild, like Damascus, asked how things were going, noted that Krauss had appeared on the Joe Rogan show, and requested an introduction because he thought Rogan was funny. Krauss did reach out, but Rogan declined the opportunity. Epstein later sent another message suggesting that if Rogan was interested, he could join Woody Allen for dinner on Friday. Krauss later responded by saying he was sorry about Rogan so far, and added that Rogan seemed more timid than he had expected. At that time, Jeffrey Epstein had already been convicted on sexual charges, yet he continued socializing with some of the most influential figures in the world and was still communicating with individuals such as Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Prince Andrew, and even Jay-Z. Rogan felt early on that something was not right, especially because Alex Jones had claimed years earlier that events like this would eventually come to light. According to those claims, Alex Jones had been speaking about what was allegedly happening on Epstein's island and private plane long before Epstein's conviction and before any official files were made public.
I'm in the files for not going.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm in the files for not going. Jeffrey Epstein was trying to meet with me.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah, and I was like, what?
I'm like, no thanks.
Yeah.
Aren't you glad?
Yeah, but I would have never went anyway. It's like, it's not even a possibility that I would have ever went.
But
especially after I Googled him. I was like, what the are you talking about? This was like 2017. One of my guests was trying to get me to meet him. I was like, you high? Like, what the are you talking about?
For what reason would you? What would be...
If I was a guy who was like sucking up to the rich and powerful, if I was really interested in hanging out with rich and powerful people.
You know, it's crazy. That's so crazy. But yeah, some people
get intoxicated by being in a circle of rich and powerful people, even if they're not like, they don't even have any ambitions of being one of those people. They just want to be around them. They want to be around Nobel Prize winners. And because this guy was what he was doing was very clever in that he was getting all of these very powerful and very respected people together.
Yeah.
And you would figure like, oh, it's
If that
safe.
guy's there, if that lady's
Clinton's
there.
here. This is fine.
Right.
Clinton's here. How could this be bad?
Yeah.
Look, it's Steven Pinker. How could this be bad?
Yeah.
You know, he's a genius. Like, and so you would go, I would imagine, you would go to these, because there's people that went to these, like he had parties in New York, like he brought in celebrities and comedians. Didn't Louis Black get invited to one of those? I think he's talked about it. I know Chelsea Handler went to one of them. It's like he would bring all these people in, and he'd like to be around famous people and entertainers and a lot of intellectuals and professors. And Noam Chomsky was famously deeply involved.
Joe Rogan has said that one reason he avoided getting involved was because of warnings he heard years earlier from Alex Jones on his show. According to Rogan, Alex Jones had spoken to him extensively about Jeffrey Epstein and repeatedly claimed that something disturbing was taking place on Epstein's Island. Jones alleged that it was not simply a retreat for wealthy elites to socialize, but a location where influential individuals were being set up and potentially compromised. He further claimed that Jeffrey Epstein gathered blackmail material by inviting powerful guests to the island and secretly recording them in compromising situations after they were allegedly drugged. By 2017, Epstein had already been convicted of sexual offenses, yet reports indicated that prominent figures, including Bill Gates, were still meeting with him, which many observers found troubling.
It seems very dark.
Very dark.
Because it seems like it was this bizarre blackmail influence thing that was going on for a long time.
For so long
time.
Through different administrations. That's what's so unbelievable about it.
It's
how
dark.
long it was going on.
This is the point where the narrative becomes even more unsettling, raising questions about why Epstein was gathering alleged blackmail material in the first place and how he managed to gain access to so many influential individuals. Forming connections with members of the Saudi elite and the British royal family is no simple achievement. It is also widely known that former President Bill Clinton was photographed with Epstein. Access to such exclusive circles has led some to believe that Epstein did not rise on his own, but was positioned there by someone. The lingering question remains who may have facilitated that placement. Joe Rogan has suggested that it is possible Epstein functioned as an asset for a foreign government. According to this theory, his role would have involved collecting compromising information, while others financed his lavish lifestyle, including private jets, a private island, and multiple properties around the world. This leads to the pressing question of how Epstein was able to afford such extraordinary wealth.
Let me just get real and say,
if I gun to your head, what do you think your best assessment of what Epstein, who was Epstein, who was he working for?
well, I don't know, right? So I'm just guessing. Everybody wants to say he was working for the Mossad. He very well could have been. He could have been working for the CIA. He could have been a guy who was on his own, but also working with them, right? Like a guy that they used, but they never fully endorsed.
Like an asset?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a guy who could move money around.
Right.
He definitely...
Good at laundering money.
The moving money around stuff was very weird because he had money through no way that anybody could ever explain.
Yeah.
He had an enormous amount of money through no way that nobody could ever explain. Which, you know, if you're state funded, you're funded by Israel and Israel's funded by America, and, you know, there's also NGOs and nonprofits, and there's ways to move money around where you can give this guy money.
Yeah.
So he was like Weinstein, who is an economist, right? Weinstein's a legitimate mathematician.
Eric?
Yeah. So when Eric met him, his first inclination was he was a fraud.
He's a construct.
Yeah, a construct. And did he tell you the whole story about the girl sitting on his lap?
Yep.
So Epstein, while he's meeting with Eric Weinstein for the first time, has a beautiful girl sitting on his lap, and a woman, I shouldn't say girl. He said she was like in her 20s, and she's sitting on his lap, and he's bouncing around, so they're juggling around. While
and he's asking math questions.
Yeah, talking serious. So he was obviously nerd fishing. He was fishing for nerds, and I think he caught a lot of nerds in that net. Is a lot of those guys that wound up going to that island, they probably thought, this is great, we get to party.
All of this was reportedly documented in Epstein's secret black book, where he allegedly recorded names, dates, and phone numbers of individuals connected to his island, along with references to victims. It has been claimed that there was only one copy of this book. Even after Epstein's conviction, its whereabouts were unclear until 2009, when authorities discovered that someone online was attempting to sell what they said was the book. A sting operation was organized, and footage of that operation was later included in a document release. The 2009 video shows Epstein's former Palm Beach house manager, Alfredo Rodriguez, attempting to sell a small black book of contacts, claiming it contained the names of powerful individuals and alleged victims, to an undercover agent. In the same footage, Rodriguez also alleged that Ghislaine Maxwell kept a database of girls, reportedly including explicit material. That database has never been recovered, and Maxwell has declined to cooperate with the FBI following Epstein's death, raising further questions about who or what she may fear.
Last name, area codes, okay. Who created this book? Epstein himself. This book was made by Epstein?
This is a video of an FBI sting operation with Jeffrey Epstein's former house manager and an undercover FBI employee from 2009. The Palm Beach house manager, Alfredo Rodriguez, believes he is selling Epstein's address book to someone representing a lawyer of Epstein's victims.
You will see a lot of important people here.
He claims that the book contains contacts of powerful people, as well as Epstein's victims.
So those are mostly underage girls, the numbers? They were very young.
A source familiar with the case confirmed the video shows the sting operation, which court documents show happened 2 years after the FBI demanded that Rodriguez turn over any Epstein documents. Instead, court documents say he kept the address book and tried to sell it for $50,000.
Alfredo, how are you?
In the occasionally redacted 45-minute video of the meeting, Rodriguez implicates Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's close associate, who's now serving a 20-year sentence for of minors.
Ghislaine Maxwell was his former companion, a very powerful lady from England. She would go to the former Eastern countries in Europe and find girls for Epstein. And I knew that because I went with my wife.
Rodriguez also claims that Maxwell kept a computer database of girls, something he said he saw briefly once.
What kind of pictures? Naked girls from Sweden, from Romania, from Czechoslovakia, from Brazil, from
all
Colombia.
minors, all young girls.
Very young, very young.
Like when you say very young, how young are we talking?
17. The teenagers, they have braces. Most.
Rodriguez provided no evidence to support the existence of the database.
Good, count it. And while you're
The video, released as part of the recent trove of Epstein documents, abruptly ends after the agent hands Rodriguez a bag of cash and says he will call the...
It was not only Epstein's island where these alleged activities were said to occur, but also aboard his private jet, commonly referred to as the Lolita Express. According to testimonies from alleged victims, Epstein engaged in misconduct while traveling and was said to keep several young girls with him on the plane. Some accounts claim that members of the flight crew, including pilots and staff, as well as certain passengers, were aware of what was happening during these trips. Despite this, it has been alleged that no one reported the behavior at the time and that many chose to remain silent. These claims have added to the broader controversy surrounding his operations and the people connected to him.